Oh boy. I know what that means. I was just waiting to see that timer on the top left corner right over there. So, with that being said, I know it is a sleepless Sunday night. Blessed, wonderful, definitely gloomy and snowy one, if I do say so myself. But it is your host, El Tucker Tente, the ultimate sensei, aka we saved the rest for the weekend, with the most beautiful co host on this great episode of Pull Up a Chair, my sweet love. Thank you for pulling up a chair with us tonight. So I hope everybody had a blessed, wonderful, beautiful, happy Thanksgiving weekend. Thank you to everybody who was tuned in to Sleepless Radio as well. Sorry for some of the that fell through. They gave on bumps and bruises, but it seemed like it was no hard feelings from everyone on Reddit so far and Twitter, so I like that a lot. So how about we just start right there, shall we? So Survivor Series is now in the rear view. Survivor Series War Games, as William Regal would say. And we got our winners, we got our losers, and unfortunately, we got our injury report from Survivor Series as well. For those of you that may not have heard, in the men's War Games match, it does look like Jimmy Uso broke a few toes, but somebody suffered a worse injury. As of right now, no MRI was given, but he's been given updates on his Twitter. And Bronson Reed looks like he may have shattered his ankle on that tsunami off the top of the cage. Now, I don't know if you saw that spot, but if you haven't got to see a clip of it, definitely check it out. He said injuries are temporary, but moments are forever, and he definitely created a moment with that. But the thing that I wanted to talk about on Survivor Series, as far as recapping it, I can't believe that LA Knight lost. When I did the bumps and bruises, I actually went back to just see like kind of how I brought it up. It was the quickest review that I had. The quickest, like, because I was like, LA Knight, Shinsuke. Shinsuke's never had a belt. Let's try to make him look at least a little bit more credible. But he's still going to ultimately lose to LA Knight. Nope. Clean pin right in the ring. And something tells me that was a last minute decision because I saw something on Twitter earlier that I did not catch when I was watching it yesterday. LA Knight usually walks to the ring, he has a smile on his face, he's shit talking, he's animated, he's doing the LA, yeah. On the right of the ring last night, straight face, never said nothing. And when he got over to like the timekeeper's thing where you go to drop off the belt, a fan in the first and like one of the front rows saw him with the belt. He just kind of takes it and tosses it. Like his vibe coming to the ring now shows that he was probably like, from what I know, from my knowledge, I have to text Triple H to get confirmation on this. But from my knowledge, he was not told that during the day. He didn't have that time to sit with it and let it really kind of like resonate with him and him still be like, okay, I'm going to go out there and do what I got to do, but it is what it is. This looks to me like he came into Gorilla and Triple H did the infamous, hey, man, shit changed up. You're getting pinned tonight. And I think that's when LA Knight was like, wow, really? And I don't think he had time to process it. That's why he had that emotional moment where he was kind of like, here, fuck it. I'm going in here to lose anyways. So what's the point of getting all animated as I come to the ring? I'm just not feeling it right now, Like he's trying to think on that. He can't be his usual character. But what do you think of LA Knight dropping the belt?
I was shocked. I was like, wow. I had to like double take. I was like, whoa. Are you serious?
Almost like, wait, did they mess up on
like
something there?
I thought it was a botch at first. I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh, he wasn't supposed to take the pin. And then, it's like, ooh.
His walk to the back too. He didn't like high five any of the fans. He just beelined it to the back.
I didn't see any of that because I was watching like
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't paying attention obviously when he walked to the ring. I probably would have been like, hey, what? Like I didn't even notice he didn't do the yeah. I'm like, oh shit! Like he always does that. Like I almost feel like Triple H was probably even in the back, like, all right, man, like,
yeah,
don't give it away, like. Don't come out there looking all pissed off. Yeah. However, though, like I said, I did want to recap Survivor Series. But there was something else I also wanted to recap as well while we're still somewhat in the realm of sports entertainment. So, I filled you in pre-pod. I know that we got some football fans as well, some football fans. So, for those Bears fans out there, though, send your prayers because they're going to be in rebuild for a while. I don't think I've ever quite seen what I saw last Sunday happen to a football team ever before. I don't think I've ever seen coaching fail a team more than what I've seen last week. So with the scene that I'm mentioning. Last week, the Chicago Bears were down by 3 points. They were down by a field goal. They had one timeout. They ran a play that didn't really work, is what it is. But they had, when the player went down, and they had this one timeout, and they were in field goal range, they had 33 seconds on the clock. Now you have a rookie quarterback, you got a rookie wide receiver, you got some rookies out there. You don't have a Tom Brady. You don't have a Tom Brady that can go, oh shit, the coach don't know. Don't worry, guys, I know. Here, listen to me. Caleb was in a situation that he's only been in once so far this season, and he already blew it. So he's already got those nerves setting in. He realizes if I fuck this up, it's going to look bad on me because the last time I was the one who fucked this up. I made a bad throw in a pressure situation. Oh, yeah. But now it really was exposed on how bad their coaching is. 33 seconds left on the clock. Caleb looking over at coach. Hey, all right, we're staying out here. You want us to stay out here. What's the play? Tick, 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 25. Hey, coach, 20 seconds left, nothing. All right, come on. You got your players literally looking at the sideline like, come on, guys, somebody. What's the move? Finally, 12 seconds left. Coach, boom, got it. Caleb, all right, tries to get everybody on the same page. 8 seconds on the clock, still no timeout. Calls hike. Caleb, rookie, he's trying to look for something, throws it to the receiver. Receiver's still 25 yards away from the end zone. He does his job. He realizes it. He catches it. Defender's right on him, man-to-man. He can't move. He's tackled. He's looking over at the quarterback like, hey, man, why don't you throw that? Like, what do you want me to do with that? I had no chance of taking off. What the fuck? You got Caleb looking around like, damn, like I thought maybe they'd call the play dead. I thought my coach realized this. Went over to the ref and said, hey, timeout, but the ref just couldn't let us know. Bottom line is, though, then you get in the post game, and you get to see whose fault this really has been the whole entire season for the Bears. Caleb Williams was asked, the quarterback, and he pretty much said that this was on me. He goes, I don't know. He goes, I'm pretty much said, to sum it up, he didn't feel confident. And essentially, they asked him, well, why didn't you just call it? Mm-hmm. And he said, I didn't feel confident in that. I don't feel confident. I want to make sure I know the playbook a lot better first. I want to make sure I know what to do in these situations, and I still got to get better at like kind of reading the defenses. I just didn't have faith in it. Mm-hmm. Coach, he goes, yeah, in those pressure situations, I think we did with what we could. I would have liked to see a little bit more effort out of the guys on that last play. And I think that was the moment when the GM was like, oh, you're going to blame them for that? What'd you want the wide receiver to do? Turn into Superman and shred 3 tackles? Like, what the fuck? And they immediately fired him. And, of course, all the memes that are going around about it are hilarious. But we're from Cleveland. And as Browns fans, we've seen some bad coaching. But now where I can get an opinion out of you, and I'm excited to see what everybody else thought on that as well. But what do you think when I tell you that story?
I mean, it sounds like a lot of that is, obviously it is like the coach, like why are we not calling, plays when you need to be, and like on him? Yeah.
Yeah, and like he had a lot going on in that moment. Like Keenan was screaming, like he goes, just throw it. And it's like, so now you got your veteran player yelling at you to call faith in it. You're looking at your coach, who's essentially just over there like, maybe this one. Let me take a look at that one. Meanwhile, like you said, the anxiety is the team's on the field like, yo, this time is taken, brother.
Yeah, it's that, and it's, maybe in that situation, you just listen to your veteran players and stuff and go off of them. And, if they're screaming at you, throw it, just fucking throw it. I mean,
at that moment, just be like, all right, I'm just going to call hike and I'm going to look for him to get open somehow, some way.
Just look for just literally something, like something.
Keenan, as a vet, realized, yo, we're losing precious time here, man.
And he's like, hey, throw it. All right, I'm going to throw it because, you've been doing this longer than I have, so I'm going to trust you on that. And if it ends up being a shit play, then
at least we tried.
At least it's a team effort, and it's not a single person. The blame's not on a single person. It's on the team. Oh, we collectively made that choice to do this. But again, it's also ultimately falling on the coach because that is your job. That is literally your only job. Your job is to do.
I'm glad that you mentioned that with Keenan. I think with Keenan being like the veteran on that offense, I think he was fed up at that moment, and he's like, man, if I can just catch this, I'm calling it.
Yeah.
Fuck him. Like, I'll call the timeout. If coach wants to get mad, hey, guess what? I just got us a fucking tie ball game.
Yeah.
Be mad all you want. At least now we got a chance in overtime instead of blowing it the way we did.
Yeah, exactly. It gives them a better chance.
Yeah, I mean, the whole team, I mean, they all looked like when they walked off the field.
Oh.
Are you
Sorry.
kidding? Oh, no, you're all
He
good.
shoved him really hard.
We got the Bills and my Niners on in the background. As you can see, I'm dressed for the occasion.
I mean, he shoved him.
But something, though, that, because like I said, I did want to mention that the Bears thing that just really caught my eye over the past week. I mean, I felt like a Bears fan for a second, even like, no way did that just happen. I mean, we've seen some bum-ass shit from the Browns. I don't think I've ever seen even our worst coach just look blank on the sideline. Like, oh, well, I'm not calling it. However, though, there's a thing going around that I also wanted to mention that I've noticed for quite some time, and it's just built up to the point where I just kind of snapped this week, and it's been a pet peeve of mine for quite some time. So for my film and my cinema geeks out there, I don't know if you guys have ever fallen for this. I've fallen for it maybe once or twice. But I'm tired of seeing people fall for the fake movie posters. I'm tired of it. The fake posters and the fake shows. Like, I saw one earlier in the week that literally was like, Deadpool versus Wolverine versus Spider-Man versus Iron Man coming 2026. Somebody quoted it and was like, oh, well, Deadpool and Wolverine was cool. I'm excited to see how this is going to be.
It's like a quick Google search could just really save you a lot of effort.
I'm looking, look at the movie poster.
Yeah.
Wolverine's wearing his outfit from the Deadpool movie. Deadpool's looking like he did in the first movie. Iron Man looks like he did in the first one. That's totally Spider-Man, by the way. I don't know if anybody noticed that.
I don't believe movie posters on the internet so much that I still don't believe that the Lilo and Stitch remake that's the actual I'm like, no, it can't be it. Why? Because I don't believe it, because there's so much AI and so many Photoshop things now that you could literally. There was a couple years ago, somebody put together a movie trailer. This is another one. Movie trailers get me too.
Oh, the teasers.
Because a couple years ago, they tried to make a High School Musical 4 with Vanessa Hudgens, and but the clips from other movies that they've done, and put them all into this weird trailer, and was like, High School Musical 4, and people believed it. They were like, oh yeah, can't wait. What do you mean? That's Vanessa Hudgens from when some random movie she did. What?
See, though, that I hate even more than the fake poster, because at that point it's like, there might be something wrong with you.
It's like
you're putting in that much, but my thing is the dude who created it.
Oh yeah.
Imagine the guy at his computer that's what am I gonna do tonight? Got it. Fake High School Musical post trailer. Let's go.
It depends on if they're content creating and they have they could be making money off of it. You know what I mean? Which could be borderline illegal, but they could be.
Let me call up Captain Crunch then. Me and him are gonna have some fake trailers.
Trying to get some clout. I don't know.
How about the Avengers versus the Fast and Furious guys?
I think that'd be crazy. You should just make the most wild movie poster and see how many people believe it.
What's funny is, based on the last Fast and Furious movie, that's kind of a fair fight.
I don't know. Those Saws are getting up there too. Saw 11.
Oh God,
everyone's true. See, I don't even know.
Well, with those, I just assume it's true, because I'm like, they'll never stop putting those out. Yeah, Scream though, that's another one that I saw they had a fake, a little 5-second teaser thing, and it's like, oh, Jenna's not even on the movie, but that's okay. Well, that goes to your little bit of research thing. Yeah. But I don't think I've ever fallen for the fake movie poster.
No, I usually have to do a Google search just to make sure before I do anything.
I feel like I can usually tell just by looking at it.
I don't like to look like Boo Boo the Fool on the internet.
I'm starting to think that next Stranger Things season might be fake.
No, it's coming out next year, I think, the end of the next year, I thought.
Are you sure? Because I saw somebody that's getting pushed back again. They're having complications with reshoots.
Oh, God, I didn't see anything.
Somebody made a good point. Season 1 of Stranger Things was actually part of the Obama administration.
That's wild.
Season 1. They're going into season 5.
And it's been
Think about that for a second. Pretty soon these kids are going to be in their mid-30s. If they're not already.
They're not going to be teenagers anymore.
Yeah, how are they supposed to look? 18. I saw a picture of the one recently. He's got a full beard. How are we supposed to make him look 19? Good luck. Shit.
Yeah, 2016, the original. Oh my god.
Ain't that something?
It's wild.
Let that sink in. What does it want?
Or not how
But I will admit, though, that even though I am trolling the fake movie posters, I think it's because I still have a little bit of anger issues that were never resolved from about 10 years ago when I used to. I don't do this shit anymore. But when I first got on Twitter and I was first diving in and getting into all this new hip hop at the time, I would occasionally see track lists. And I'd be looking at the track list and I'm thinking, okay, oh wow, featuring Jay-Z and Kanye and Andre and oh my God. And then the album come out and none of the fucking people are on it. Not a single song. The song names aren't real. The features aren't
I
real.
don't think I've ever fallen for that.
Oh, I fell for that
I
plenty.
don't even think I've ever seen anything like that.
And then finally one day I just had enough of it. I still see them to this day. People do it. They'll be like, rumored Drake track list. Oh my God, this one has Jay-Z on it and Kendrick Lamar. And it's like, all right, no, I don't think so. Like I know when Kendrick's album was rumored last week, there was a leaked track list. And I just see them come by the timeline now and blinders on, avoiding that. There was one that I fell for. Never forget. A$AP Rocky's debut album, which I forget what it's called now. But maybe Long Live A$AP or something like that. I know that was the first track on it. But anyways, I remember that there was a track list that leaked the upcoming week of that album. And here's what makes it funny. They had one song that had like, oh, it's got Kendrick on it. It's got Danny Brown, Action Bronson. It's got all these guys on it. And then on the other records, there was crazy features on those as well. But the one that I just mentioned with the Action Bronson, Danny Brown, Kendrick Lamar was called One Train. The whole track list ended up being bogus. But you know what song they actually nailed spot on? One Train. So it was like, damn. Like, so now at this point, it's like sometimes I guess they can predict it. But at the end of the day, don't fall for the fake track list and movie posters, guys. It's got you guys out here looking crazy. I don't want to see nobody falling for that shit. I mean, it's just absurd, really, at this point. Falling for a fake movie poster or a track list. Make yourself look like who you always say, boo-boo the fool. Yeah, don't look like boo-boo. But there is somebody right now in the mainstream world that everybody's talking about. It's definitely debatable, and that's why we love doing Pull Up a Chair. But they got Drake out here looking like boo-boo right now. For people that don't read too much into it. I agree with the one lawsuit, disagree with the other. For those that don't know, if you've been living under a rock and Patrick Starr's your roommate, Drake filed 2 lawsuits earlier this week. On Monday, he filed a lawsuit against Universal Music Group. And then the following day, he filed a lawsuit against Kendrick Lamar for defamation of character. What do you think about that? So Drake sues UMG.
I think the defamation of character is a little bit ridiculous. I also think like suing in general is a little bit ridiculous. What are we doing?
I think suing UMG makes sense only because essentially, I mean, he's tying through them as well. But he's saying that UMG botted Kendrick Lamar's streams and have been botting his streams and trying to feed him into algorithms, taking away chances from himself and I guess other artists as being on those playlists. And another part of it is this 30% of what Kendrick was able to make on it because of us, like pretty much they're allowing certain artists like a Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and J. Cole to make more money than off their streams than artists like For Say Me can. So we're coming close to a fair fight. Like where I'm getting, oh man, I really could use that boost on my streams, as I'm building them up. Where Drake and Kendrick have all these streams in the world, why are they the ones that make extra money off these streams? They already are established. They already have all this. They don't need to make the extra, but you're still giving it to them and not us. Mm-hmm. That's absurd. But then, like you said, then that leads it to we're going to sue Kendrick Lamar on defamation. When let's face it, Kendrick Lamar wasn't beating his wife, and Drake's not a pedophile.
Yeah, I don't.
Just one song seemed to take off more than the others.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's all fucking stupid, but
Well,
fine.
like I said, I agree with the UMG lawsuit, disagree with the Kendrick one.
I guess.
But it does pose a
whatever.
couple of questions. My first question I wanted to ask, and I know you're just an outside listener, and that's why I think we appreciate your perspective even more. Is Drake's run is that not saying is he going to fall off and it's going to be some crazy shit, but is looking at Drake as the number one dog, is that those days behind us?
I don't know. I mean, personally, I don't think so. Like, but I don't like Kendrick's music. Like, I just never did. I never will, and I never have. But, and I mean, either Drake too. It's like I like a select few like hits and stuff. But do I think Drake is like the more superior? Yes, I do. But
will we see Drake back in his proverbial number one spot on the Billboard?
I think eventually, after everything dies down. I think eventually, yeah. Once people like forget about it and like Kendrick does something fucking stupid or dumb or something, and then,
puts out a dud or something.
Yeah, I mean it's only a matter of time. I mean, how many people have been trying to get Drake out of the fucking spotlight all these years, and Kendrick just happened to do it for a little bit. He'll be back.
I think what happened to Drake is Kendrick played the internet way better than Drake thought he was going. Drake thought he was going to get the Pusha T.
I just think Kendrick's corny. I mean, I do. I mean, he's taken this. I mean, he's okay. It may have been fine like the first week. Oh, okay, oh, cool. All right, you know, you got him. You had the upper hand on him. But then it's like
then it was they not like us. They really not like
you're
us.
just killing it, and beating the dead horse, and then bringing it back, and then beating it dead.
And then he brought it back up on the album.
It's just ridiculous. Kendrick's the most corny man on this planet. I'll tell you that.
I can feel the steam coming off of that take right now. My goodness. Well, that's an interesting perspective. I'm glad to get that. However, though, with how I just brought up how Kendrick, was calling out Drake once again on the album, turned his TV off and all that shit. He may have poked the wrong bear, though. That I think is something that everybody was also talking about, because usually he don't respond to shit. But we got the post that said Barbie and Drizzy stand down. And there's only one person that can tell them to stand down. Lil Wayne, and paraphrasing here, but on that tweet said, "You should have let the Giants sleep. I didn't want to do this. I really didn't. But it's me versus you now. Me and you. I'm coming." And essentially this all started from not only that lyric that he put on the album, but it was also mentioned that when Wayne tried to get into contacts with Kendrick was like, just send him my love, but like, I don't want to talk to him. And Wayne, I think that's when Wayne probably sent that tweet out. That's when Wayne was like, all right, man, you really want to do this? Then let me at him, kind of thing.
I'm sure there's a little bit of like animosity and stuff there, especially with the halftime show and everything, and all of that. So, I don't blame Wayne for being like, all right, well, step the fuck down now. It's my turn to get at him, because now he's, like you said, poke the wrong bear, poke the sleeping bear. You can't do that. So
yeah, and I think it was like he had a couple jabs. Yeah. He had the jab at him during the disses against Drake, and then the Super Bowl, and I think Wayne was kind of like if I'm gonna do a Wayne impression on that, he was probably like, okay, that's all right. His problem is with Drake. It's not with me. But then now when you came out on the new album, and
I feel like Wayne's starting to take it a little bit personal now.
Yeah.
That's kind of where it's going. Because it's like, okay, Drake, that's his boy. All right, I'll let you do your thing. I'll let you shoot your own battles. That's fine. But now it's like, okay, now I'm being brought in. Now I'm not going to be able to do this halftime show when I was told I was going to be able to do it. Or everything was leading towards me doing it, and then all of a sudden, because Kendrick is like on the up again for some reason, he's taking it. Like, I feel like there would be a little bit of something there. I mean,
and I think it may have brought up old animosity that Wayne and Jay-Z had for a bit.
Yeah,
Jay-Z's in charge of who goes for the halftime show. that is like, wow, man, you're both of you. But then I think on the new album, though, when he got to that, I used to bump the Carter 3. I held my Rolly chain, proud of the irony. I think my hard work, the Lil Wayne down. I think that's when he was like, okay, man, like you really want me to come out, I'll come out, and we're gonna go to war, and let's see who gets it. You know, from a rapper's perspective, I'll say this: the writer against Tyler, something will get exposed real quick because Kendrick can take 2 weeks to come up with one, right? Post it, but then
Early and I
was lit. And Drake's dartboard face.
I mean, which is fine and well. You know, you have great bars and, really great lyrics and all the things is awesome. But it's like in this type of setting, it's like, okay, you want to do the rapid fire, then you can't. So.
And to be fair, that wasn't Drake's bag either. So it's like,
well, no, but that's the thing is that, like, that's why Wayne's like, let me show you what's up then.
Yeah.
Like, obviously Drake's not getting it going, and then since, and Kendrick calling out, everybody else on what YMC, like YMC and B and stuff, they, Nicki, what the fuck, all right, Nicki, just relax. Let Wayne come in.
Honestly, the stand down was probably more for Nick. Because Nicki was probably ready to go because she just beat with Megan earlier this year. And I think Wayne was like, no. I'm tired of this.
Yeah, but for some reason, Nicki hasn't been sitting right with me. So,
what happens though when we get that diss track soon and you get that lighter flick on it?
It'll go crazy. I mean, people go crazy.
Oh, if he gets in that Wayne bag like how I think he might, that might turn into a scary hour situation of its own right there. But before we close out and get out of here, did just want to have a nice little fun, quick little audio adventure with my sweet love over here on Pull Up a Chair. And thank you to everybody for being tuned in to Pull Up a Chair episode 92. If you haven't already, hit those bells, those likes, and leave your comments of what you think, whether you hate it, love it. What do you think about the Bears? What do you think about wrestling? What do you think about Drake, Kendrick Lamar? All that. Something that we didn't even talk about. Feel free to bring it up, and then I'll talk about it on the next pod. And with that being said, thank you once again to my sweet love for joining us on this audio adventure. And if you're out here in the winter wonderland, and it's the day after tomorrow for you as well, because this snow out here is getting crazy, we wish you guys safety and farewell and happy trails. Keep the love high, and you know where the hate goes. Always on the lows. Peace. Toodles.